My friends, I can still hear the sound of the cafeteria, the crowd noise of all the cool kids conversing over the lunch hour. It wasn't just noise, it was a wall of sound that I wasn't really a part of. I'd take my tray, find that one empty spot at the edge of the room, and just watch. For the longest time, I was convinced that I was invisible, that I was just the guy passing through, the one no one noticed. But then as I've gotten older, I realized something. Being invisible? It was the start of something else entirely. It was the moment I learned to really see. It's a story about moving 3 times in 2 years and what happens when you decide you don't need to fit in to belong. So my friends, it started with cardboard. Most kids at 12, 13, 14 years old, they're worried about whether they've got the right shoes or which class is going to be the hardest. But my life was measured in tape dispensers and how many boxes I could fit in the back of the station wagon. 3 times in 2 years. It's funny how a box, just a simple brown folded piece of cardboard, can become the biggest landmark in your life. You pack up the room you just started to recognize. You drive to a new town and you start over. The first time, you think it's an adventure. The second time, you think it's a coincidence. But by that third time, you start to realize that you're not just moving house. You're moving the version of yourself you're trying to build. And every time I peeled the tape off those boxes, I felt like I was leaving a little bit of who I was back at the last curve. It's disorienting. It's like being a character in a movie where the scenery keeps changing, but the plot, well, the plot just never seems to catch up. So after the third box was unpacked in that final new town, I stopped trying. When you're the new kid every single year, you realize something pretty fast. Trying to fit into a group that already has its own rhythm, it's exhausting. It's like trying to jump into a double Dutch jump rope game after the rhythm is already established. You're always going to be one beat behind. So I stepped back. I became an observer. I sat in the back of the classroom. I leaned against the lockers. I found that edge of the cafeteria table, and I just watched. And that's when I started to see things other people missed. I saw how the social rules actually worked. I saw who was genuinely kind and who was just trying to impress someone else. I saw the dynamics, the quiet hurts, the little unspoken expectations. It was lonely, sure. There's no point in pretending it wasn't. There were many days when I would have given anything to be one of those kids laughing in the middle of the classroom. But there was also something strangely free about it. Because when you're not trying to be a part of the game, you can finally see the whole board. But here's the paradox. My friends, that kind of independence at that age, it's a double-edged sword. You end up knowing a lot more about everyone else than you do about yourself. Then at 14, the map changed one last time. I moved to live with my dad. And for the first time, I wasn't just observing strangers in a cafeteria. I was trying to understand the man who was supposed to be my guide. Living with him, I started to see the bigger picture. I saw the same restlessness in him that I'd been living through in those cardboard boxes for years. I realized my own quietness, my need to observe, wasn't just a quirk. It was a survival tactic I'd learned early on. And the anger I sometimes saw in him, it wasn't about me. It was a chain, a heavy old chain that had been passed down from his father and his father before him. I stopped trying to be the kid who fit everyone else's mold because I finally understood the mold itself was broken. I spent so many years trying to be the person I thought others needed me to be. But in the quick, quiet moments now, looking back, I realized that the outsider I was at 14, he was onto something. I don't mind the quiet anymore. I find I'm actually quite comfortable being alone. Not lonely, mind you, just okay with my own company. It took me a long time to get there, but I think that's okay too. Thanks for listening. What kind of a kid was you when you were in school? And always remember that life and YouTube are like a box of chocolates, because anymore, you never know what you're going to get. I'll see you in the next one.